at war with Iran. There's actually no other way to describe that. We're at war with Iran. So you could stop with the historical academic analysis and stop excavating old foreign policy textbooks and stop pretending this is doctoral thesis defense on empire. Is this 1953? Is this Vietnam? Is this Iraq? Is this 1979? We're literally in it. We're in it right now. Strikes have been launched. Leaders have been killed. Military capacity is being actively degraded. And for anybody desperate enough to try to understand what's going on, I'm going to tell you plainly, we are decapitating the government and not taking responsibility for what comes next. That's the whole game right there. That's the structure. And all this talk about monarchy this, international coalition that. Do you really think Trump has the patience to rebuild Iran in the same way the U.S. tried to rebuild Iraq? Do you really think so? Do you really think this administration has tolerance for an Afghanistan-led reconstruction project? Be serious. I just want you to lock in for a second. There is no appetite for occupation. There is no patience for generational state building. There is no domestic political oxygen for let's stabilize Tehran for the next 15 years. That doesn't even exist. You know what does exist? Appetite for degrading them. Appetite for capacity reduction. Appetite for smashing the spear and walking away from the handle. We already know what we're breaking. We know what we're breaking when we go up in there. We're just not claiming what we'll build. We're not claiming it. And that silence is not accidental. It is the posture of the moment. So I want to show you where this gets dangerous. Because the greatest threat to an American citizen in this moment is not a missile. It's not a missile at all. It's the narrative environment. You already feel it. The same dread that never left. ISIS didn't vanish into mythology. That didn't happen. Minnesota didn't rewind the killings. That didn't happen. Cultural tension didn't dissolve. The fractures were already here. This war didn't create dread, it amplified it. And amplified dread demands resolution. So people compress. They compress into binaries. Listen to me. Pro-war, anti-war, pro-Israel, anti-Israel, loyal, disloyal. If Gavin Newsom says the war is irresponsible, does that make him anti-Israel? If someone asks for an in-state solution, does that make them sympathetic to Iran? No. No, but panic compression does make it feel that way. People try to resolve foreign ambiguity with emotional certainty. And that right there is the perfect environment for emergency enforcement. Because once ambiguity makes people anxious, once dread makes them crave clarity, and once the narrative compresses them into two choices, authority will expand quietly. Exceptional measures feel reasonable. Laws get passed according to invisible binaries that everyone somehow agreed to, but no one can define. That's exactly how it happens. You think you're responding to missiles when you made that video? You responded to narrative pressure. That's all that happened.
Look, I want you to listen to me and listen to me closely. Listen, the system is already collapsing. The system is already breaking. So what moves right now are you currently preparing yourselves to make? Right? I've been sounding an alarm for over 2 years now. I've been sounding an alarm over 2 years. I've been telling you guys, hey, it's time to move on from the 9-to-5 system. I've been telling you guys, hey, maybe you need to go ahead and geomax. I've been warning you guys that the American financial system is over. I've been warning you guys that America is on its last legs. And right now, what America is currently doing, it is trying to preserve just a little bit. It is trying to preserve the little bit of sovereignty, if you will. It's trying to preserve the little bit of military power it has right now. It's trying to preserve the tiny portions, right? The tiny portions of the fabric that we have left right now. And as for everybody else, listen, you're left to the wayside. Look at what's going on in Dubai with the Americans. Look at what's going on with the Americans who are stranded in literal war zones right now. Right? I seen the video. I should play it right now.
What's happening? Your homie, Mr. Capone. So yeah, I'm one of the last flights that landed right here in Dubai. My flight landed at the Dubai airport, and I'm one of the last flights that landed here, and now the whole airspace is closed. But it's okay though, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm happy because I did my Umrah. So, you know, I'm clean from all the dirty sins or anything that happened in this world. And I wrote a will back home in America to pass on to anything that I have. So this is a credibility that me double downing on the will that I wrote. So if anything happens in this country because of the Iran-US war, Israel war, you already know what it is. And man, I was supposed to be back Thursday. And it is what it is. Yo, I'll keep you up with more reports right here. What's going on in Dubai? Your homie, Mr. Capone. Hey.
I seen a video where a guy called the hotline, right, for, possible, relocation or possible evacuation plans. And the U.S. basically told them via voicemail, hey, you're on your own, buddy, right? You're on your own. We can't come save you. We don't have the resources to come save you. We don't have the power to come save you. We can't do nothing for you, right? Even though the U.S. is the one that put them in a situation to have to evacuate in the first place. Listen, I'm going to release a video explaining the top 5 to top 10 places that will be safe in case of a World War III situation, in case of a all-out war situation. Yes, there will be countries that will be safe. United States is not top 10. I'm just letting you know right now. There are certain places in the United States that you can escape to, right? So we're talking about places like Idaho. We're talking about places like maybe Wyoming. I'm not going to tell you too much, but I will be releasing a video very soon on places you can escape to, because listen, only the ones who are prepared are going to be prepared, right? As you can look around, man, everybody's an NPC. Everybody thinks what's going on is just absolutely normal. Everybody thinks this just another day. And this is what I mean by Americans are stuck in La La Land, right? Many Americans are stuck in La La Land. Many Americans are stuck in delusional land. They don't know what it actually feels like to really be in an all-out war with other superpowers. Because let me tell you something, man. China has some unbelievable technology that we haven't seen. I'm sure we have some technology as well. But listen, while China has been perfecting their craft, right? United States we have been as Americans distracted, with race, distracted with the bullshit ass politics when they all work for the same people. We've been distracted by just everyday nonsense and not really focused on the end goal. China, on the other hand, has been focused on the end goal. China has been studying us for how long now? China has been studying us for over 50 plus years at this point, while also using some of our resources and using some of our technology to further advance their economy, to further advance their people, to further advance everything that they have going on. Meanwhile, America has been stretching itself. America has been spreading its tentacles all over with nothing in return. What do we get, right? We get a homelessness issue. What do we get? We get massive drug issues. We have OD issues. We have a massive issue in our healthcare system, right? You have everyday people living check to check, right? Nobody has money. People are over leveraged. People are sick. People are overweight. But you want to sit up here and tell me that America is prepared for an all-out war? I want you to ask yourself something. What happens if they bring the draft back? Because at this point, I think Trump is willing to do just about anything, not only to distract us from the Epstein files, but just do about anything to preserve power, right? So for those of you who are thinking that, okay, you're just going to be exempt from this, you think that you're just going to bow out gracefully, you think that you're just, for some reason, you think that you're just going to escape to La La Land, you think that you're just going to chill, take a chill pill and sit down and smoke your ganja and play your Call of Duty. Nah, they're going to, listen, I don't wish for this to happen. I don't wish for this to happen. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but at this point, all possibilities are on the table, right? America is in a very, very desperate state of affairs right now. And on the surface, right, it doesn't look as such. On the surface, it looks as though, okay, America is being America. America, yeah, the biggest military in the world, we're the strongest of the strong. On the surface, right, it looks as though, okay, America is just, doing what it does, right? Pushing democracy all over the world. On the surface, it looks like that. But when you really dig deep into what's really going on, oh, it's a shit show. When you really dig deep and see the state of our debt, right? When you really dig deep and see that America doesn't have the money that many of you think that it has, right? When you really dig deep, you'll realize that America is not as rich and resourceful as you think, right? Sure. Does the top 10, top 20%, they have the money? Of course. Listen, America is a land of the rich. Everybody else is a peasant worker. That's it. The middle class has been eradicated. If you're still calling yourself middle class at this point, you need to wake up and drink some black coffee, right? But at this point, no middle class exists. No middle point exists. At this point, in our economy right now, it's either you have nothing or you have it all, right? Either you have nothing or you have it all, right? The haves and the have-nots. That's where we are in America today. And you think that somehow voting is going to do something about it? You think somehow that getting on crying about it is going to do something about it? No, this is deeper, much more deeper than what they're telling you on the news, what they're telling you on the media. America has been compromised. I've been saying this for the past year or so. America has been compromised, right? After this past election, I realized just how compromised the United States actually is. This opened my eyes to help me realize who exactly is in control. And it's not the president of the United States. It is not Donald Trump, right? It is not who you think it is. We have been compromised. We are controlled by everybody else besides the people who we elected to be in control, right? Some of you may say, oh, this is a conspiracy theory. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what's going on. I guarantee you. Listen, I've been right thus far. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've been right thus far, right? I'm not Houdini. I'm not dang on. I don't call myself a prophet. Listen, I'm just looking at the data. I'm looking at what's going on. I'm studying the history. And then I'm making a conclusion from the things that I have studied. But see, when you're always digesting bullshit from the media, when you keep on looking at Fox News, when you keep looking at CNN, BNN, bullshit news network, when you keep looking at Cuck News Network, right? You're not really able to see exactly what's going on from the people's perspective, right? In actuality, I trust portions of social media, right, more than I trust the legacy media. Legacy media is run and operated by the oligarchs, right? The social media is too. So really, in reality, you really have to dig deep to really get the knowledge that you need to get. That's the thing. That's the unfortunate truth about all of this. Because at this point, we don't know who's telling the truth, right? Even when it comes to self-proclaimed casualties in the Middle East right now, right? Iran has said that they've took out 600 odd soldiers, right? That's what they're reporting. And the US is saying, nah, buddy, it's only 6. So you have people, you have countries, right, delivering a narrative to their population, right, to their people, right? And then on this side of the aisle, the United States is giving us a narrative. So at this point in time, nobody knows the truth, right? And when nobody knows the truth, this is where chaos begins. But here's another thing. When chaos begins, this is when people start to make an insane amount of money. See, things like this happening in the world, this is nothing new, right? There is nothing new up under the sun. This happens all the time in history. Right? So there's always periods of time of war. Right now, we're in a global transition. I keep telling you this. Right now, we're in a AI race. Right now, we're in a space race. Right now, we're in a chip race, right? The United States, China, BRICS, you know, you name it, right? Other countries as well. They're in this race to be the next power at play, right? You have countries in line trying to set themselves up to be global dominating powers. So guess what that means? United States has been the big dog for a minute now. United States has been the big dog for a minute, and slowly but surely that power is being sucked away. Slowly but surely you have countries backing away from the US. Don't get me wrong, the US currency is still global reserve. It still is the number one global reserve. But that's not what you should be relying on. You shouldn't be relying on any country, right? We're moving into a day and age where you're gonna have to really be self-sufficient, right? You're gonna have to really be a sovereign human being, right? You're really gonna have to exercise your geomaxing. So when something happens in this country, right, you can move on to this country. When something happens in that country, you can move on to this country, and you're not bogged down by any one currency, right? And this is where cryptocurrency comes into play. This is where Bitcoin comes into play. This is where all of these things come into play. This is where systems and processes come into play. This is where entrepreneurship and building a business come into play, because government isn't safe, right? The government isn't safe. As we can see now, not just with the United States, all over the world, we can see the government is full of corruption. You can see and tell that people can have little kids hiding in the closet, right? People can have little kids hiding in the closet, and guess what? Nobody is gonna do a damn thing about it. Nobody's gonna do a damn thing about it. So that's a telltale sign right there that you have to build your own system. You gotta build out your own processes. You're gonna have to get to the money yourself. You're gonna have to get to where you need to be. Nobody's gonna give you the knowledge. Nobody's gonna give you the information. Well, the after pill is giving you the knowledge and the information. And you can come over to the Patreon, come over and join the family, come over and join the private community, the private group of sovereign thinkers and system and process builders over there on the Patreon. The link is in the description. Come and join the family. Listen, man, shit is getting crazy. But the systems, as you can see, are breaking down. So your job is going to be to find the cracks in the system, right? The cracks are showing right now. So there's only going to be a certain time period where those cracks are going to remain open. Those cracks are not going to remain open for long. You're going to have to jump through those cracks. You're going to have to see with your own eyes and go ahead and just take the leap and take the jump. Because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. If you don't, listen, you're gonna be stuck like Chuck. And once those cracks close, once those cracks in the system close, that is it. I've been telling you for the longest, hey, y'all better do this, right? You better get into tip-top shape. You gotta work out like you preparing for war, right? You better start creating some kind of business. I don't care if you fail. Listen, you better do it, right? It's all or nothing at this point, because once these cracks close, you're locked in, right? You're locked in wherever you are. If you don't have no money, you locked into not having no money. If you're in poverty, you locked in into poverty. But if you got money, guess what? That's the only way that you're gonna be able to maneuver. That is the only way that you're gonna continue to be able to go up top, because all the resources, all the money is up here, right? While everybody down here fighting for the scraps, while everybody else fighting for identity, politics, and all of that bullshit, they're making all the money up here. So I'm gonna ask you something. Where do you wanna be? Do you want to be down here or you want to be up here? Join the Patreon and I'll show you the way. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint. PFP life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.